Hi there, it's Tuesday afternoon, and I am going to do a little short yoga for athletes. I know a lot of you have kids at home right now, and they're probably maybe even training for some spring sports. And this will help prevent injury, increase their range of motion, but most importantly, it will help them focus and stay more present in the game. So let's begin by coming into a seated position today. So let's grab our mats. And then just sit down on your mat and either bring your feet in a comfortable cross-legged position, one foot over the other or one foot in front of the other, which is called Siddhasana. And once you settle down, you're beginning to open up your hip flexors, relaxing your knees towards the earth, and then bring your shoulders back a couple of inches for most of us, and then roll your shoulders up towards your ears, and then let your shoulder blades relax down your back. Let your arms rest comfortably on your knees. Now tuck your chin slightly under, like you're holding an orange and you don't want it to fall out. And then close your eyes right now. Close your lips, or close your mouth, and breathe in through your nose. And out through your nose. Do this 2 more times. Eyes closed, lips sealed. Now we're going to do something called ujjayi breathing. So take a breath in through your nose and slightly feel like you're bringing the breath right into your belly and expand the breath, your belly out, and then bring the breath to the top of your lungs. And as you exhale with your lips sealed, squeeze the breath out through your nose, kind of making an sound in the back of your throat, tightening that area, diaphragm right at the breastbone area, and then draw the navel in towards the spine. And then breathe in the nose once more, expand. Eyes closed, lips sealed, chin tucked slightly under, contract if you squeeze the breath out. Now keep doing this a few more times, and while you're doing this, try to visualize the breath as a color. A healing, energizing, strengthening breath going into every cell and every space. And as you exhale, release any tension, any tightness, any negativity, body or mind. Breathing like this gets more oxygen to your brain. It lowers your blood pressure. And it brings you to the present moment just by continuing on focusing on your breath. So we'll take one more. And this time, open your mouth and Now, when you're doing some cardio, it's okay to open through your mouth. You want to make sure you're getting enough oxygen in, so you don't have to do this ujjayi breathing. But just continue to breathe. Make sure you're not holding your breath today. Now, we're going to switch legs. So whichever leg you have in front or on top, switch. And then come back into that seated position. Hi, Donna, you going to help me? Now, we're going to do what I call seated cat-cows, and they're important because they work your spine in 6 different directions. So I'm going to sit sideways just to sort of demonstrate, but you stay right where you are. And then as you breathe in, you're going to squeeze your shoulder blades, push your heart, lift your chin. And as you breathe out, you're going to draw the chin to the chest, round your back, and suck that navel in towards your spine. Now do this 3 more times. In, out. Breathing in, exhale, last one, and squeeze that breath out. And return back to that upright position. Now, we're going to come into what I call hero position right now. So if you need to sit on something, you can sit on a pillow, a blanket, you can place a block in between your knees, or you can sit right on your heels. And I'm just going to sit on my heels right now, showing you what hero pose looks like. All right, from our hero pose, it's important to stretch out your shins, your knees, your quads, and your feet. You're also stretching out even the tops of your toes. So our feet are like this most of the time, either sitting or standing. So we bring our foot in this position. It's kind of a hard stretch if you've never done it before, so take your time to make yourself comfortable. Now, I said earlier, it's important to stretch your spine in 6 different ways. So we've gone forward and back. We're going to go side to side right now. That's where we're lifted a little bit. Breathe in. We're going to take both arms out and up, like expanding. And exhale, take the left hand down. Every pose has an anchor, so anchor yourself down right now at the right hip. Reach up as you breathe in, and as you breathe out, walk your fingertips towards the left. Now see if you can reach over a little farther, expanding that right side, and this time, lower your elbow as you exhale towards the mat. It doesn't matter how far down you go, all it does, it just elongates this part of your body and loosens up some tight muscles. So let's take one more breath, maybe even looking up at that bicep and exhaling. Breathing in, we're going to take both arms back up, and on this exhale, take your right hand down. Anchor yourself with left sit bone this time and reach out. Then walk the right hand to the right, and then see if you can reach a little farther. And then bend your elbow. See if you can lower a little more, not a lot. Some of you may be able to lower all the way, and a lot of this depends on your anatomy. I have long arms, so take one more breath in that left side body, and then squeeze it out. Now we're going to press ourselves all the way back up, and bring your hands back to your heart center. Now we're going to do some little seated twist right now, which is really good to move your spine in this direction. So what I have you do is just take your legs out in front of you right now. So take those legs out, shake them out a little bit, move your feet back and forth, windshield wiper them, or together, whatever feels good. And then we're going to bring the right foot in front of the right hip. Left leg is going to extend out long, and then you're going to take the right arm in front of the right leg and reach around that leg, and then take your left hand and reach around, see if you can find your right fingertips. Now if you can't, hold on to your shirt or just gently hold on to something. It could be a strap, a belt. Breathe in and then lower down. Take another breath, squeeze and lower. Now, on the next breath, we're going to rise back up, squeezing the shoulder blades together, and then look over your left shoulder. So you're getting a nice little twist in your spine, but not too much in this pose, not too much for your low back. Now, release. We're going to take both feet over the left side. Keep that right hand right where it is, and place your left hand on your right knee. Take a big breath in, and then look over that left shoulder a little bit more. So it's just a different stretch in our shoulders, our arms, our back. One more. And gently look over your left shoulder if you can. Now take those legs back out in front. Windshield wiper the feet back and forth. And whenever you're ready, we're going to bring left foot in front. So left arm is going to scoop around. Right arm comes behind and finds the left fingertips. Breathe in. And as you exhale, we're going to lower down. See if you can hold this. Lengthen the crown of your head forward. See if you can get a little deeper in this stretch. And then rise up. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and take your gaze over the right shoulder right now. Getting a little bit of a spinal twist, not too much early in the game. And then we're going to release. Now take both feet to the right this time. And left hand comes on right knee, right hand comes behind your spine. Breathe in and just gently, so you can twist a little deeper towards the right. And then inhale back to center. And then gently twist towards the left. Just not missing any of these tight little areas in our body, but being real careful not to over twist our low back or our shoulder area. Now unwind. Now, one of the most important things to stretch out are shoulders and hips. So we're going to come into something right now that will stretch out our shoulders, and we're going to come into a standing position. So place your hands on the mat right now, and we'll tuck our toes under for just a moment and push the back of the toes into the mat. Kind of spread all 10 toes. Walk your hands towards your knees and see if you can bring your hips towards your heels. Shoulders are going to roll back over the heels, and then you're just going to let your shoulder blades relax down your back like we did at the beginning. And then take a breath and release the tension. Now take your hands behind your back. We're going to interlace the hands, open up through the collarbones and lift your chin. And as you exhale, you're going to drop your chin to your chest and then lean forward. See if you can bring your eyebrow center towards the mat. And then you're going to lift the hands up towards the sky. Get those fingers up as high as you can. And then let them fall towards the top of the mat. So you're getting a nice stretch in your shoulders, the front of your shoulders, the back of your shoulders. Move around a little bit if you can. And then release. Place your hands under the shoulders and press yourself back up. And then we're going to take those feet and kind of tap them out. Bar toes is not the most comfortable pose for most people, but it's so good to prevent plantar fasciitis and develop strong arches. So from our fire toes, we're going to walk the hands out about a hand's length away. And then we're going to do some of those spinal things that we did earlier. So breathe in, arching the back, and then rounding the back. And we call this cat-cow. So just do 2 more of these, cat-cows. Come back into strong neutral. Tuck the toes under, lift the knees, and then bring the shoulders over the hands. So we're in our far toes right now, building strong core muscles. Begin to keep your knees bent, but push your hips back, pushing out the heels of your hands, and then drop your head towards the mat. Oh, shake it up and down, and then shake it side to side like you're saying no, and then pedal out the knees. See if you can bring one of those heels down while you lower the opposite knee towards the mat. We call this walking the dog. So we're going to come into tabletop, and then we're going to come back into downward facing dog. So do this a few times, kind of warming up, lubricating your wrist joints, your hip joints, and a little bit more of those fire toes. And then come back into your table. Now press the feet into the earth. We're going to take the knees all the way to the edge, toes to touch. Several of my yogis have expressed having low back pain. Well, part of it is from working out in the yard and, doing just different things that we're normally used to doing. So let your hips relax back and down towards your toes. And then, like I said earlier, try to let the eyebrow center connect with the earth. And if that doesn't feel good to you, which sometimes it doesn't to me, I like to grab opposite elbows and let my head rest on my arms. So take 3 breaths again. Try to really feel that breath energizing through every space, every cell. And as you exhale, releasing any tightness, any tension, any stuck areas. Last one. Now come back into your tabletop position with the knees extended, and we're just going to make some little hip circles. So you can bend your elbows a little bit. So once more, lubricating the hips and make those both directions. And then bring your forearms to the mat. Go ahead and lift right arm up, and we're going to weave left arm underneath and lie down on your right shoulder. And you can keep left arm here, or you can walk it out towards the top of the mat, trying to get both shoulders towards the mat. Once you've done 3 breaths, draw the left hand back and weave that right arm back out. Now this time we're going to do some extended cat-cow. So breathe in and out. So just round your back and lift your chin, and then press the sit bones back. Bring the eyebrow center one more time. Like I said, lubricating your hips. And then we're going to bring the forearms back to the mat. This time, we're going to lift that right elbow and weave the left arm underneath, lying down on your mat, walking that right arm out if it feels good. Trying to get both shoulders, and you're really going to feel it back in the scapula area. So walk that right hand out and relax that right shoulder towards the mat. Relax your hips. Let your knees fall as far apart as feels good. And whenever you're ready, we're going to draw that right hand back and weave that left arm out. And then bring the knees a little closer together right now. So we worked our spine up and down. We've worked it twisting right now. So we're going to do a little side body twist right now. So we're going to start with some balance by lifting right leg behind us and then lift left arm. See if you can hold this position for 3 breaths. So draw the front body into the back body. Magnetize your core muscles. Keep your gaze towards the top of the mat and reach your ears away from your shoulders. Now we're going to breathe in and lengthen out. And as you exhale, bring right knee to left elbow. And do this 2 more times. Last one, and then drop that left hand. Now, take the right leg out to the side for a moment. Just feel that wonderful stretch that you might be feeling on your inner thigh, all those little muscles that are tight for you. Take a breath and see if you can let your hips relax back towards that left heel. Go ahead and lower the forearms if you need to. Maybe lower your tailbone all the way towards the earth and walk both arms out. Bring your eyebrow center to the mat. Just listen, don't go too far. And then we're going to pull ourselves back up into this table. We're going to lift that right leg and take it behind the left. Now look, take a breath in, and then look over your left shoulder towards that right foot. And then stay here. Breathe into that right side body. Take your gaze back towards the right foot and expand. And then we're going to take that right foot back to the mat. Tuck your left toe under and lift yourself up to what we call a tail of the dog. And as you exhale, we're going to draw the knee to the chin and round. One more time, expand. Exhale, round and squeeze. And then step it forward. Step up with the left foot. Pressing your feet into the earth, drop your head. Now place your head between your arms like you grab opposite elbows. Just let that forehead relax towards the earth. Lifting the sit bones a little higher. Relaxing a little deeper. We're going to take one more breath. And then bend your knees. And just take your arms out and all the way up to an extended mountain pose. Palms together. Root the feet into the earth. And lift your hands up towards the sky. And as you exhale, we're going to relax the hips and pelvis and let your fingers go backwards like you're tracing an imaginary line. And then reach back up. And with this exhale, we're going to bring our hands back to our heart center. Now take your arms down, out and up, and then swan dive down to a forward fold. Place your fingertips on the mat. Step back into a high plank this time. Take a breath. And then drop your knees to the mat. We're going to lift left leg, right arm this time. Hold. Once more, pull the front body into the back body, magnetize the core muscles, and reach the ears away from your shoulders. Breathe in, one more breath, and begin to bring right elbow and left knee. So find you're challenging your balance as you're breathing. Now if that bird's okay, then hit my window. Last one, and then go ahead and, I was just going to do something different. Take that leg out to the side, I almost forgot. And then with this right toe tucked under, relax that left leg, if it feels good. Take your hands back towards your knee and begin to lower the hips or lower your forearms to the mat. Or stay upright, whatever works. Just don't go too deep. Honor where you are and stretch out those muscles gently. We don't want to tear anything, hurt anything. Like one step forward, but 2 steps back. Once you've allowed yourself to completely relax and let go, and find your edge, you're going to walk the hands back under the shoulders and then lift that left leg and take it all the way over to the right side. Take a breath and then squeeze right shoulder towards right hip as you take your gaze towards that left foot. Really expanding once more the left side body. So now we have moved our spine in 6 different ways. We're going to take that left leg back and keeping that right toe tucked under, tail of the dog. Once more, breathe in and exhale, round and squeeze. Inhale, expand, round and squeeze. Last one, and then step it up towards your left thumb. Meet with the right. Okay, pressing the knees together, the toes together. We're going to let our hips sit back and down. And then take your arms out and up. And just like there's a chair for you, sit back and down. Seated chair. Breathe in and out. So I like to call these power chairs, We're going to reach up as we inhale, and then as you exhale, you take your fingertips down and back. So press with the feet, reach out and up, and as you exhale, down and back. So 3 more. Last one, and then bring the hands to heart center. Lower your body halfway down to the mat, and then with the hips back, knees bent, take left elbow to right knee. Lengthen and then twist. Breathe in and out. Maybe open arms up and looking up at that right thumb, getting a little bit more of a twist today. Last breath, hands back together. We're going to come back to center. This time we're going to reach all the way up as we breathe in. And as you exhale, we're going to take left elbow to right knee. Inhale, rise, and exhale, right elbow to left knee. So breathe in, and then to the right, extend, and to the left. And then we're going to keep it right here at the left. Lengthen, lower, and twist. See if you can hold for 3 breaths, and maybe open and expand those arms a little more if that feels good today. Now hands back to your heart. We'll come back to center and place your hands under your shoulders. Now, stepping back into a high plank today, take a breath and hold. Ears are reaching away from the ears. Hips aren't too high and they're not too low. They're just right over the toes right now. So 1 more breath, and we're going to lower the knees, press the feet down and back, and lower all the way down to your mat. So you can come all the way down into our forehead on the mat and hands under the shoulders. Real gently begin to press yourself up to a Cobra. And then as you exhale, lower back down. Now work with this Cobra for 3 more breaths. You might push yourself up a little higher, or you may stay right where you are. 1 more, and then lower down. Now, lower your forehead, eyebrow center to the mat. We're going to lift left toes towards the sky. Reach back with the left hand. And keeping that right hand right where it is, eyebrow center on the mat. Begin to pull that left heel in towards your glute until you feel a really good stretch in your quad muscles today. Be gentle with yourself. You may not be even able to get even close to your hip. It doesn't matter. It does matter though if you're feeling a good stretch. It's going to give you that range of motion. Protect yourself from injury. 1 more. And release that left leg. Bring that left hand back under the shoulder. Now lift right leg. Reach back with right hand. See if you can find the right foot and then ease the heel towards the glute. Eyebrow center is resting on the mat. And I didn't say to the glute, I just said towards the glute. So last breath in this pose and then release. Now bring the elbows right underneath the shoulders. And let your belly become soft and relax. Let your hips relax. Let your legs relax. Separate your feet about hip width apart right now. And bring your hands in a prayer-like position if that feels good. Now some of you might have some low back pain or neck and shoulder pain. This is so good to help that. Whenever you're ready, we're going to draw the hands back underneath your elbows this time and hug the elbows in nice and tight towards your body. Bring the toes about, fist width apart. And we're going to press ourselves up to a Cobra and then see if you can straighten your arms and lift your pelvis off the mat. Maybe press the top of the feet and lift the knees off the mat for a real strong up dog. So breathe into this beautiful pose. Come into your table and then sit back and down, round your back into child pose. From your child pose, we're going to round back into our table. Curl the toes under, lift the knees, and we're just going to hover here. And then push the sit bones back. Straighten out your legs the best you can. Drop your head. Breathing in, we're going to lift that right leg for that tail of the dog that we did earlier. And as you exhale, we're going to bring it in towards our chin or our knee and round the spine. And then look towards the top of your mat and step the right foot through. Lower down to your knee and then walk that right foot over to the right side. So move your right hand out of the way for a moment and turn your right toes at 2 o'clock. Now, heel toe or slide the left leg back. So we begin to stretch our psoas muscles out earlier and our quads. We're going to get a little deeper into it right now in lizard pose. So with your lizard, toes are pointed 2 o'clock. We're going to take the left hand over to the left side and we'll take the right hand on the right knee. And as you breathe in, you're just going to gently push that knee away. Not very far, just enough till you feel your edge. And then let your hips sink a little deeper. And do this one more time. And if you can, look over your right shoulder. So you're getting that nice spinal twist, you're getting this hip opener. And then we're going to come back to center. Now roll the foot on its pinky side where you can actually open it up like you can see the sole of your foot right now. Now that may not feel good to some of you, and if it doesn't, don't do it. But I had a wreck last August and I really injured I had a pinched nerve, I had a sciatic, was bothering me all the way down this area. And oh, this is one thing that felt so good to that. So anyways, it might feel good to you, it might not. Listen to your own instinct, your intuition. And then if you want to come a little deeper in this, as long as you're not hurting your knee area at all, that's a main contradiction of this asana, is to come down onto your forearms into your sleeping swan pose today, or not sleeping swan, winged dragon. We're going to do sleeping swan next though. So breathe in and begin to relax that knee. We're going to hold this for 3 more breaths. It's an important pose. It helps to realign your body and it's called a yin pose. So the longer you hold your poses, the more you get past the muscle. So we're getting into the ligaments, we're getting into the tendons, we're getting into the connective tissue, the joints, the bone, and even the fluids. Okay, let's walk the hands back towards the underneath the shoulders, and then we're just going to heel toe this right foot over to the left side of your mat. Now, like I said a minute ago, the contradiction of any hip openers can be your knees. So if your knees are safe and it feels okay, drop your right knee right there by your right thumb, where your shin is parallel to the top of the mat, and let your hips slide down. Some of you may be way up here and you're hovering, and some of you may feel very uncomfortable on your knee. So if it does, take your knee right into the center and point your foot back towards the left corner of the mat. So honor where you are in your practice, honor previous injuries, and just listen to that intuitive area that I told you about a little bit earlier. Now, once you come into your pigeon pose or swan, lower it down to the forearms. This is where we hold emotional tension, the hips. Try to release any tension that you're holding. Smile, soften your brow, relax the hips, relax the shoulder blades down your back. And if it feels really good, you can bring the elbows out and place your head down on your hands, or you can take the arms all the way out in front like we did earlier. And just let your body even bring that right leg down a little closer towards the earth, getting a little deeper into your pigeon. From our pigeon, we're going to roll over to the right hip and extend the left leg out. And then pick that right leg up and place the foot in the elbow crease and the knee in the right elbow and rock it back and forth. Try not to round the spine, but sit up nice and tall and move back and forth. There is something that sometimes people get called piriformis syndrome, and your piriformis muscles are tight. Your other muscles have loosened up, like your hamstrings, but they're still tight. So let's stretch them out a little bit if you can. And then we also have knots of tension that's really hard to get sometimes, so we're going to take the right arm out to the right And then you're gonna lower, like we did earlier, onto that right forearm. And then you're just gonna make a circle. So you're gonna make the circle forward, backward, and you may think, oh my gosh, I have a tennis ball with spikes on it, or I've got something in it that's really painful. It's probably tension, a knot of tension, muscles knotted up. So let's work it out. And then remember seated twist? This time we're gonna take the right leg over the left leg. And then we're going to place the right hand behind us. Option 2, hug that right leg with left arm, or take the elbow in front. Breathe in, and then real gently, twisting from your belly button area, look over your right shoulder. Stay here for a couple of breaths, moving with the breath, so always twisting deeper with your exhale. Not only does this give you that spinal twist, it's also a detox for your body and all of your organs. Now we're going to unwind, and we're going to come back into our tabletop position, and then curl the toes under and lift your sit bones up and back for downward facing dog. It feels so good. Now pedal it out and take the left leg up. And as you exhale, bring the knee in towards the chin and round. And then look forward and step that left foot up by the left toes, and then heel toe it over towards the right side. Left side, drop the knee, slide the foot down and back, and then with the right hand to the right edge and your left toes pointing at 10 o'clock, take your hand on your knee and gently push the left knee away, beginning to open up that left hip. Now remember, we're not symmetrical. We weren't born that way, and history and injury and age has made us even less symmetrical, and lifestyle. So be real gentle. Observe that one side is different than the other. And if it feels good, take your gaze over that left shoulder, intensifying the stretch on that side body today. So we're really getting into working our spine all 6 different ways. Now bring the hands under the shoulders, and we're going to roll to the pinky side to where that sciatic or any nerves or just a more intense stretch in the ankles. But once more, be paying attention to that intuitive area if it doesn't feel good. And then some of you may need a little more. You might want to lower to the forearms. And we're going to hold for about 3 more breaths in our winged dragon today. Remember that visualizing that beautiful, colorful, healing breath going into every cell, energizing, strengthening, going into every space, the spaces that you're creating by holding this pose a little longer, getting into those fluids in the joints. Now we're going to bring the foot back to the mat. We're going to bring the hands back underneath the shoulders, and then we're going to heel toe this foot over to the right. And like I said earlier, listen to your intuitive side and maybe dropping the knee by the heel of the hand or taking it to the center. Right leg is going to go down and back. If this hurts this knee at all, anything that just doesn't feel quite right, take the knee to the center and point those toes towards the right corner of your mat. But if it feels good, take a few moments to settle into this, and then maybe you can come a little deeper into your pigeon pose today, or swan. Maybe all the way down to your mat today, because we're going to hold for 3 more breaths, allowing your hips to realign themselves. So surprisingly, foot pain, knee pain, low back, shoulder, sometimes can all be helped just by realigning the hips. And by holding these poses a little longer, that's exactly what we're doing today. We're realigning the hips. Now, whenever you're ready, walk the hands back, peeling your heart up. We're going to take that right leg in front of us this time, and then cradle the left leg. So hug it in nice and close, bringing the elbow, the knee into the elbow crease, and massage out those piriformis muscles. I've had piriformis syndrome before, and I think mine were just inflamed from overworking. which can happen if you've ever done too much exercise. Too much of a good thing is not good. So now let's lower the left foot on the outside if you can, or remember you can't, you can always modify. And then option 2, hug it with your right arm or take the elbow in front. The left arm is going to come out behind your back, and they're going to lengthen and then twist. So getting that beautiful spinal twist once more, detoxing twist, working our spine in all different directions today. Now slowly unwind, and then we're going to take our feet, bend our knees and bring our feet in front of us. And then I just want you to take your hands out in front of you and pull your shoulders up and back. Just a little core strength today. So see if you can lift the feet. And if you can't, you can keep the feet lowered. But if you can lift the feet, see if you can make the crown of the head and the tailbone one straight diagonal line. And then see if you can hold for 5 more breaths. So you can lift your feet to amplify. You can hold on. You can place your hands back here. There are so many modifications, so many things you can do with your boat pose. So 2 more. Last one. And then pressing the feet and knees together, palms up, hover all the way down to the mat. And then just lie here with your hands open and your feet about hip width apart. Hopefully today you've got a good workout for moving your spine in all different directions, breaking up any adhesions that might attach themselves, and getting some length into the body. Our body settles sometime when we set too much, and this will get that space and oxygen and fluid back into the spine area. Now, the last asana for today is going to be called Waterfall. So walk the feet in towards the hips, and then press the low back in the mat. Bring your knees into your chest, wrap your arms around your legs and rock back and forth. Just massaging your adrenal glands, the back of your head, your shoulders, your sacrum. And then slide your feet up towards the sky. We're just going to stay here in a waterfall position with the feet extended. Don't try to direct which direction your feet will go. It doesn't matter. Take a few breaths with your waterfall, and what waterfall does, it boosts your immune. It activates your lymphatic system to flush out bacteria, viruses, environmental toxins, anything that you don't want in your body. And that's why they call yoga the science of health. Everything you need is in your body if we just know how to utilize it. Activating today your thyroid, your spleen right now, helping your body absorb the good nutrients. Lowering your blood pressure, your heart rate. Legs up are helping improving your circulatory system, giving your heart a little bit of a break right now. And the deep yoga breathing will bring more oxygen to your lungs and to the brain to make you smarter. Whenever you're ready, we're going to real gently bring the knees down towards your chest. And with your peace fingers or your hands, you can take your peace fingers around the big toe or your hands around the outer arches. We're going to bring the knees towards the armpits. And then see if you can pull them down towards the mat. We call this happy baby. And you're going to feel a nice stretch across the low back. Move back and forth. Once more, getting a little deeper into these side organs. So we're getting into our pancreas, our liver, our gallbladder on the right side, our right lung and right kidney. And over on the left side, we're getting to our large intestine, our colon, our stomach, our spleen, our heart. Just moving back and forth on our back. We're getting into our adrenal glands. And then let go of those toes. Bring the feet back towards the earth and slide them all the way down to the mat. Place one hand on your belly and your other hand on your heart. Continue breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. You can breathe and just relax in this pose as long as you want. Whenever you're ready to come up though, give yourself a break, a few moments by rolling over, bending your knees and then rolling over to your right side and just staying there. Remember what I said about yoga lowering your blood pressure. You might be a little lightheaded if you try to get up too fast. So take your time, and whenever you're ready, safely press yourself up. And then thank yourself today for practicing yoga, and thank you for practicing with me.